wade into the environment of health and agriculture as a novice, which I think is the position that most people start out in. And what my business all-encompassing has become is kind of a methodology of how to get more people involved and how to allow them to have their own moment of kind of coming to terms with how we teach ourselves versus how we actually leverage the power of the natural world in farming and in health. So I started a business over 13 years ago called Progressive Gardens, and it's a retail gardening store. And I've since started a company called Progressive Farms that is a farming business. We have a 10-acre farm that we're contracted to grow in our town and in Wilmington, North Carolina. And it's also a product development and distribution company that sells and consults to farmers and lawn care companies and retail garden centers all over the country and all over the world, for that matter. So we're on the cusp of starting a rebranding of our project that we're calling Be Agriculture. And the concept being that we want to invite people to be a part of agriculture. You know, really, whether you like it or not, you already are. So, you know, we're trying to champion ideals such as, you know, as Wendell Berry said, eating is an agricultural act. You know, what we think, we grow. It's been my experience and it's my opinion that, you know, people that are informed and that they're operating in ways and using their buying power to really encourage what they want to see, that's a much more healthy tool to affect the change that we want to see than it is lobbying or you know, any other matter of social change. So, you know, my experience has been through the ins and outs of all of these environments, and you know, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here to talk a little bit about what we do and maybe how we can connect with more people to do more of it.
That's great. Boy, there's been some really cool pictures that I've been seeing, and the audience hasn't yet, but I know we're all going to see all of them. And I saw one that was really cool. I just got to use this one. There was a Ford truck in there. What year is your Ford truck that the banner was on?
You ask about the truck. Oh, trusty. It's in 1985, late model, just had fuel injection. So it's actually got about 80,000 miles on it. Literally real miles, because the guy I bought it from drove it to the dump and back for 20 years. So it's got factory upholstery. It's, you know, it's in very good working condition.
So let's see if I can go through mine. I have a 81, two 1990s, a 1991, a 2001, and a 2006.
The base is covered.
Yeah, and honestly, the coolest of all of them is that 81, which is a little bit older than yours. You know, roll down windows. So simple, and it was pre-injection. I mean, it is just a dream. And then take it back further, I think I became sort of a Ford guy. My dad had a Ford pickup when I was growing up, a 65 actually, and that was my first Ford that they put a camper on, and we'd travel all over the country in. So I don't know whether Deb's got this one up now, but here's a very cool picture of you and I'm assuming some family members. If you can see that one that's up there now, maybe tell us who that is, and tell us about what that picture is.
Yeah, that's quintessential of my family. You know, we're always trying to have fun. That's my wife, Mary Margaret, and my daughter, Blythe, and I have a son, Dylan, who is 2 years old now. Or, I'm sorry, 3 years old. Time is flying. He's almost 4. So yeah, you know, that's just us on an average lazy day.
And I think she's got pictures of the 4 of you here that we'll see also. So speaking of that, let's take you back a little ways. You know, tell us about where you grew up. Here we go. There's the other 3 in the tribe other than yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us where you grew up and maybe one event from your youth that you remember that really caused you to pursue your current life path. Just sort of tell us about your youth time, and then if there was one event that you can remember, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting. You asked, you presented me with some questions that, you know, really forced me to think about my past in a way that I'm not used to doing. I'm very well equipped at talking about my businesses, but not so much about myself, which is something that I'm hoping you can help me with as we do these